Konnichiwa, I am Akemi, and in this video we will continue talking about the research lesson in a lesson study. In the research lesson, the group of teachers must think about the research theme, about the class goals, about the relations of the topic to be studied throughout the research curricula, about the study of the materials, and how the students will be evaluated. There are still some details that should be addressed. The planning must predict students' reactions and doubts. In this case, the group who plans the classes should anticipate and detail the form how the teacher will steer the classes during those moments. This mode is not random, but mainly based on questions called Hatsumon. Thus, the teacher cannot respond for the students or give them ready algorithms. The group who plans should bear in mind that the class will be guided by stimuli so that the students can build their own knowledge. And a good way to stimulate them is by the use of questions. But beware, it's not any questioning that stimulates the students' reasoning. There are questions that do not help at all because they are innocuous or just because they block the flow of thought. For example, try to ask a student to solve a problem and question him or her, "How do you solve this problem?" These questions did not guide him or her to formulate a strategy for the solution. Or still, when you ask the student, "Did you understand?" At this moment, the student is faced with a dilemma because he or she does not know exactly what the teacher wants to hear, so he or she questions. What does he or she wants me to answer? Understand what? Different from these questions, the ideal questions would be: what data does the problem provide? What does the problem ask? Have you solved something like that before? These are kinds of questions that help the students to think and reason. The questioning is important, so is the approach strategy of the topic. The lesson study is guided by good questionings or good problems that lead the student to the desired goals for the class. And how would it be? The academic scientific literature of education shows research results that can be reported to the group of teachers because they inform good ways to make the students produce knowledge about a school topic. In addition to it, good textbooks also suggest forms that should be considered by the group that is planning the class. Moreover, consider any consultation with colleagues outside the group and especially with a knowledgeable author. Inspirations may come from any of these sources or a combination of them. For example, in a class of the concept of fraction, scientific researchers state that we should develop these notions based on magnitudes and the number line. The whole part approach to fractions is limited and may undermine the broader understanding of the concept of fraction and may impact on the mastery of future mathematical contents. The group that is planning the class must value this kind of discussion while planning classes about the concept of fraction. It is possible that the isolated and initial class about fractions based on whole part fractional may be a success in the students' learning. But it is important to remember that the lesson study has broader goals, and if this approach limits future mathematical contents, it should be abandoned or included after a more appropriate knowledge base. The group in charge of the planning will decide it. An example of a problem chosen by the group of math teachers in a lesson study was about the wire for teaching the system of first-degree polynomial equations for high school students. For the research lesson, which was one of the classes, they chose the following problem. The scale is balanced. The glasses are identical and have in total 1400 flour. The glasses on the left plate are completely full and the glasses on the right plate are filled of the half of its capacity. What is the weight in grams of an empty glass? The inspiration for this problem came from the problems applied in a mathematics Olympiad. The lesson study group rearranged the problem test so it would guide all the development of the chosen content to that class. We will have to talk about Bancho, Neriagi, and Matomi. Have you heard about them? So come to the next video. Arigatou gozaimasu!